Have you seen this yet?
One in particular,
It's
an
crazy.
robot made by Boston Dynamics named Atlas. Atlas is making the move from the lab to the factory floor, and we were invited to come see it as it was tested at a Hyundai plant outside Savannah.
In this video, I want to address what my critics accused me of omitting in my last video, and in about 30 seconds, I'll talk about what that is. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll offer a piece of insight that will help you tactically act on two things. Number one, owning 0.21 Bitcoin as a solid foothold, and then tactically acting on the new reality that capital and labor are quickly detaching. So we're diving into the 0.21 Bitcoin equation and why it's important, why we talk about that so much, and we're talking about embodied AI. Just kind of clearing up the 0.21 confusion from my last video and setting the record straight on labor obsolescence. So specifically, we're going to talk about why Bitcoin actually matters. I'm going to give you the TLDR on that. Embodied AI as it detaches labor and capital forever, kind of based on some of Jordi Visser's commentary around that. And then how we should be responding to these two emerging realities. So the TLDR on why you should own 0.21 Bitcoin is that, number one, it's still affordable for now. You can kind of think of it as a high yield savings account. Bitcoin is a 24/7 market. It's very liquid. It's one of the most liquid assets on the planet. This puts you in the elite top 1% of Bitcoin holders. It gives you a massive hedge against inflation if you're willing to hold it at least 4 to 5 years. I know a lot of the people in the comment section are like, well, you know, it's so volatile, especially this cycle. I get it. We'll talk about that. You also are, getting a foothold in the emerging digital asset economy, and we're going to talk about tokenization. We're talking about a lot of different things, and then you're reaping the benefits of digital scarcity as capital decouples from labor. Plus, at today's price, roughly speaking, it's about less than $20,000. And our strategy in our community, especially for those that are new to Bitcoin, is to just dollar cost average or make little purchases either daily, weekly, or monthly, 0.001 Bitcoin at a time. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So I get a lot of comments in the comment section like, hey, why 0.21? Why not 0.1 or 0.5 or a whole Bitcoin? And by the way, if we're just meeting, Brad on a mission to empower millennials and Gen X to integrate Bitcoin more deeply into their personal finances so they can reach financial independence in 10 years or less. So the 0.21 is really, it's just a target to aim at. No matter where you are along the continuum of acquiring Bitcoin, it's just a target for you to aim at. I believe that this will be a significant wealth, a significant store of wealth in the future. It's difficult to see that right now because the prices are sort of sideways and not fluctuating very much. And then, so it's a target to aim at, and then you adjust that to your personal situation. So like I said, I get a lot of comments in the comment section, of, clickbait and all of these things. And, from a financial coaching perspective, which I've been a financial coach for 17 years, the best thing that I can do with my clients is give them or help them arrive at a target to shoot at, right? So what it actually means is that, 0.21 Bitcoin today, owning 0.21 Bitcoin today is actually owning a fractional piece of a decentralized, fixed supply, immutable, future global reserve asset that is both money, so it has all the attributes of money, you can use it as money, and an incredible store of value, i.e. digital gold. It's important as you're getting into Bitcoin, as you're accumulating your 0.21, to stop thinking about fractional Bitcoin in fiat terms, okay? We want to start thinking about it in future terms, especially with regard to, embodied AI and this sort of like post-capitalism. And I know that's a very uncomfortable concept that I want to unpack as well. But I will say, because we're still living in a fiat world, just remember, dollars do lose value over time. So those of us that have been shouting from the rooftops about Bitcoin for years, I've been in Bitcoin since 2013. One of the huge selling points of Bitcoin over time is the purchasing power of the US dollar declines continuously. So monetary inflation as opposed to price inflation, which is what you see at the grocery store, but monetary inflation is currency printing, and that's debasing the currency. So an example on this chart is that in 1913, $1 bought 30 Hershey bars. Think about that for a second. Now, it buys less than one. So each unit of your currency is being devalued pretty much on a daily basis. And there are tons of charts that I can show you around that. In 2025, the US dollar lost 9% of its purchasing power. Actually, I think that that's conservative. I think it was actually over 10%. But I like to keep things, conservative. So it's maybe hopefully a little bit more believable. And so it's also important to look at Bitcoin versus your TradFi savings. So in a bank account, low interest bank account, maybe a max 2x return, $1 over many years. Okay, so maybe your bank account is paying 2% interest, 1% interest. If you're lucky, if you're in a money market, you're getting 4% interest. Whereas if you're looking at Bitcoin, let's say, for example, on this chart, you put in you're starting with $100, and then you're looking at the compounded annual growth rate, or the CAGR, of 35%. Now, I will say that that's actually pretty conservative. The CAGR of Bitcoin over the past decade has been 50% or above in most cases. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But that $100 that you put in year one, by December 31st is worth $135. That same $100 by the end of year two is worth $182 at a 30% CAGR. By year 10, it's worth $2,010.66. And this is if you're not putting anything else into it, right? By year 20, that $100 has turned into $40. Now, again, I think that a 35% CAGR is very, very conservative, especially with what we're headed into. So I wanted to kind of jump into what I talked about in the last video a lot more in depth, was the embodied AI TLDR. Okay, so Jordi Visser's article that I read in preparation to do that video talked about the numbers that came out in Q3 of 2025. And the TLDR on that is capital can now generate wealth without workers, okay? Human meritocracy is becoming, I would say it probably is, but it's becoming evident that it's mathematically obsolete as the rise of embodied AI comes into fruition. Bitcoin is the pressure valve, the apex scarcity-based store of value in a post-labor world. The action here in all of this, the encouragement, is to understand the fracture. Understand the fracture, understand Bitcoin, protect your wealth with it, and prepare for a society where AI does the work and the scarcity defines you. Like, what I showed you at the beginning of the video with these embodied AI, humanoid robots. I mean, if we are where we are now, you can imagine in 5 years, with the incredible acceleration of the development of this technology, our whole society is going to look very, very different, to say the least. By the way, YouTube tells me that only about 16% of you guys that watch my videos are subscribed. So if you get value out of this, I would love it if you would like, share, subscribe. Really helps out the educational mission of my channel. So we have a lot of old paradigm thinking. I get comments like this one a pretty fair amount. And I think that it's very easy to dismiss embodied AI as thinking about it like an AI chatbot. They're not the same thing. So this person says there's a huge amount of innocent ignorance going around the internet surrounding AI and the takeover of jobs. I understand certain jobs rely on automation, but as for physical trades, we are far off from AI and robotics taking over most physical works. We're not even close. People sit behind computers all day and speculate about the AI takeover, have most likely never worked physical trade jobs or built anything with their hands. I mean no disrespect, but I see this all over the place, and it's just flat out incorrect. And so I appreciate comments like this because there's, intellectual hospitality. It's basically saying, hey, look, I'm not calling you an idiot, which is what I would say most people would probably do. So I appreciate the sort of respectful way that this person is, kind of coming at it. But I do think that respectfully, I disagree. I think that, most people that are thinking in this paradigm are kind of taking their worldview, and I hold this worldview as well, that almost everything you see on the internet is overhyped. It's meant to inflame dopamine and cortisol and all of those things. But I think the evidence, as evidenced in this video that I'll show you again here in a second, it's evidence that we are going down this road. So in Jordy's report, he talks about, this is basically sort of capitalism's, and I will say as a caveat, capitalism as we've known it, its death certificate, Q3 of 2025. So gross domestic product, or GDP, was up 4.3%, which is the fastest in 2 years. So this is growth without job creation. Okay, so corporate profits, record profit margins, soaring profit margins. The unemployment was 4.6%, and the job growth was zero. So there were basically no net new jobs added, as I'm understanding his sort of recounting of this. Consumer sentiment was 52.9, the second lowest ever, while the S&P was hitting all-time highs. So the argument that he's making is that now, capital is detaching from labor, so the elites don't need our labor anymore, and so prosperity is also now decoupling from labor as well. Have you seen this yet?
One in particular,
it's crazy.
A robot made by Boston Dynamics named Atlas. Atlas is making the move from the lab to the factory floor, and we were invited to come see it as it was tested at a Hyundai plant outside Savannah, Georgia. I think I used the word mind-blowing in the piece. It's astounding. They call it a humanoid, but he stands up in a way no human could possibly stand up. His limbs can bend in ways ours can't. This robot is capable of superhuman motion. Robert Plater is CEO of Boston Dynamics. The neat thing that this new robot can do that I have not seen before is all of its joints can rotate a full 360 degrees. So that's beyond what you and I can do. And we think that's the way you should build robots. Don't limit yourself to what people can do, but actually go beyond. We went to the headquarters in Waltham, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston. It's a huge facility. 60 Minutes went to Boston Dynamics back in 2021 and saw an earlier version of Atlas, and it was bulkier and didn't move quite as seamlessly as the one we saw. We saw Atlas running. He can do the Macarena. He could do cartwheels. He could dance. I mean, they've made tremendous progress.
My contention and what I'm learning is that embodied AI is way more than chatbots. It's not ChatGPT. It's not, it's not what you think. It's basically physical robots, physical entities that have AI, the ability to learn, that are, coming into the fray now. And so, I have to say that, I'm not super buoyant about this. I'm not super excited about this. I think this is gonna, it's gonna disrupt a lot of people's lives in very, very dramatic ways. And I know that for me as a financial coach for the past 17 years, mostly to the middle class, that, a lot of people are not thinking proactively about this, and they're going to just react and respond, emotionally. And I get it, but part of what I want to do with this platform is really help people prepare, both from, understanding the AI piece of this, the embodied AI piece of this, but also from a Bitcoin perspective and getting into more of a financial independence type of mindset. So I want to know what you guys think. I mean, do you think, based on this, is AI, coming for your job? And obviously knowledge workers, any kind of intellectual stuff. It's amazing. I'm using AI every day myself, and it's amazing what I can get done, the productivity that I'm able to get done without cutting out a ton of busy work. Even these slides that I make, I'm using Canva AI to, throw my outline into it, to have, to produce, a lot of these slides. This used to take hours, and I can do it in, far, far less time now. So is embodied AI coming for your job? If so, how soon do you think? I mean, like that commenter was saying, like, you guys are all out to lunch. Well, I mean, the arguments are that they're going to be building houses and fixing plumbing soon, So, and then I wanted to sort of wrap up by covering some 0.21 acquisition tactics. Just some ways that you can sort of think about, getting to 0.21 Bitcoin. So running the numbers, and I think the Bitcoin price is a little different today. I think it's at like 93, but you can adjust the calculations based on what the price is. So to get to 0.21 Bitcoin in 21 months at around 90K is about a $904 a month investment. Now that's assuming, obviously, play along. All the comments are playing out in my head. Oh, you said this, and your math is off, and that's really unrealistic. I get it. So we're just going with the model here. If you can budget, about $1,000 a month for the next 21 months, if the price stays around this, then you'll be able to get to 0.21 Bitcoin. If you want to do it in 21 weeks, obviously you would just ramp that 904 number, or $1,000 a week for the next 21 weeks. But it's all about being responsible, because we still live in a fiat world, but it's also about being disciplined about this as well. And this is where the fire, so the whole point of my platform is to help millennials and Gen X integrate Bitcoin more deeply into their personal finances so they can get to financial independence and retire early in 10 years or less. And so some of the rudiments that we talk about are organization, cash flow planning or budgeting, expense tracking, increasing your savings rate, optimizing all of your spending, dollar cost averaging as a habit, committing to buying lots of assets. Bitcoin is the apex of those, but hey, if you want to buy some gold and silver or you want to buy some equities, man, hey, I'm all about it, right? So the goal is to get to financial independence in 10 years or less. Now, with the decoupling of labor from capital or capital from labor, I think that the sooner you can do this, the better. Talk about this all the time. I'll just kind of breeze through this. These are some of the places. Just go get Bitcoin wherever it is that you can. Not financial advice. I'm just an entertainer on the internet. But these are all the places. And we talk about this a lot. If you want to show up on my live streams on Thursday, we talk a lot about the tactics and how we use the Fold card and the Gemini MasterCard. This quote from Morgan Housel. If you've never written the Psychology of Money. It's a great book. I'm reading it right now. Financial success is not hard science, not a hard science. It's a soft skill where how you behave is more important than what you know. So you can be super knowledgeable and super smart and be terrible with money. And I've seen, much of that over the years. So I alluded to this a minute ago, but every Thursday we're going live and we're talking about, general personal finance, FIRE style strategies, Bitcoin as your high yield savings account, dollar cost averaging, self-custody, all the adjacent assets like IBIT and covered call ETFs, some of the experiments that we're doing with like BTCI and Stretch and some of the new ones. And then obviously I open it up for Q&A. So if you have questions or you're like kind of muddling through some of this or you're just like not sure, show up and ask a question live. I'll make sure that I answer it at this point. So next steps for a lot of our clients or a lot of our audience that are trying to integrate Bitcoin more deeply into their personal finances is to set up a Fold card or a Gemini Bitcoin MasterCard. You get free sats pretty much on a daily basis, especially with your purchases. And like I said, if you have questions, just set up a call. My calls are very reasonable. We usually start with a 30-minute call just to kind of get to know each other, walk through some of the details of what you're struggling with or a problem that you're trying to solve. Or a lot of times people are just like, hey, I just need another set of eyes on this. Am I totally out to lunch? Am I crazy? Or am I on the right track? And if you want to support the educational mission of this channel, I would love it if you'd buy me a coffee. I really appreciate that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, since you made it this far in the video, I wanted to offer 2 resources that will help you integrate Bitcoin more deeply into your personal finances. Number 1, Gemini's Orange Bitcoin MasterCard. You can earn up to 4% Bitcoin on everyday purchases like gas, dining, groceries, retail purchases. There's no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, and no exchange fees on any of your rewards. Plus, if you sign up today using my link in the video description below, you get $200 in Bitcoin when you spend $3,000 in your first 90 days. The link is in the description and the comments below. Number 2, I'm also offering one-to-one calls to answer questions and to help you integrate Bitcoin into your personal finances more deeply, including traditional FIRE and Bitcoin planning, as well as Bitcoin self-custody. Link is in the video description below for that.